Hey, I'm Lani. Welcome to Fabulous Retreats YouTube channel. Today we're focusing on our feet. If you've got shoes on, take them off. Get your bare feet onto your mat and check them out. Plant them underneath your hips. Make sure they're both facing forward so they're parallel to one another. And then notice what part of your foot is the widest. It should be the toes, but because of the shoes that we generally wear every day, they're generally not. So what can we do about that? We can start to find some abduction of the toes, working into all of those muscles which generally become quite lazy, and improve our foot posture, which in turn will improve our knee posture, our hip posture, and our back. Totally worth it. So let's come back to the feet. Bring it back, Lani. Always got to bring me back. Right. So feet are facing forwards. They're parallel to one another. Lift your toes up and spread them as wide as you possibly can. And then plant them down onto the mat. And do that a couple more times. Your fingers might start to do funky things as well, and that's totally fine. And each time you spread the toes, try and think of the big toes coming closer towards each other, and make sure that you're not moving your feet in and out. Yeah, it's just the toe joints that we want to be opening. And then plant them down, all 10 toes. Make sure the knees are still soft, and then just soften the toes so you're not kind of clawing into the floor and creating hammer toes. Now, which part of your foot is the widest? Hopefully those toes have got a little more space between them now. Let's find a bit of work through the arch, that medial aspect of the foot. I want you to, without lifting the big toe off the floor or bringing the weight to the outside of the foot, think about drawing the big toe knuckle in towards the heel. So we get this doming and lifting sensation through the arch of the foot. Notice how the shape of your foot has changed. Then relax completely. And if you're like me and you've got a little bit of flat feet, then there'll be a really big difference here in what the foot looks like and how it feels. Make sure the knees are still soft. Again, think of drawing or dragging that big toe back towards the heel without lifting the big toe knuckle off the floor. Check out the feet. Maybe the knees have changed positions. The alignment of the hips will have changed. The pull into the lower back would have changed. And then relax it all again. Can you feel that change? Make sure the toes are still spread wide. Let's do that one more time. Drag the big toe back in towards the heel. Can you feel how that connection of the arch resonates all the way through the ankles, knees, hips, and into the back? Keep that little lift of the arch, and we're going to play the piano with our toes. So keep the big toes down and lift the other toes up. If you can't do that, use your fingers to help you out. And then lift your big toes up and plant all of the other toes down. This is the one you generally will have most problem with. And if you can't get the big toe off by itself, literally pick it up and hold it there until it stays by itself. And again, press the big toe down, lift the other toes up, the other toes down, the big toe up, and continue. Big toe down, big toe lifts without rolling onto the outsides of your feet. So here we're starting to work through some of those toe flexors and toe extensors whilst maintaining an active lift of the muscles in the plantar fascia through the arch. The knees are still nice and soft. The brain is working hard, and your fingers might be doing all sorts of funky things, and that is okay. And then plant the toes back down, find that toe spread, and keep the knees nice and soft. Then march up and down a couple of times, shake it all out. And I highly recommend doing this exercise couple of times a week. If you have lazy arches, like I do, like many of us do because of the shoes we wear, it's a whole other story in itself, then do this before you do your workouts. It will change everything, especially the way you feel the work into your bottom. Until next time, my friends, stay fabulous. Namaste.